Any visit to the Isle of Skye is incomplete without savouring the wealth of history at Dunvegan Castle and Gardens. Built on a rocky outcrop on the shores of Loch Dunvegan, once entirely encircled by the sea. Dunvegan Castle is still the ancestral seat of the MacLeods. Departing from the pier below Dunvegan Castle, one of the traditionally built clinker boats will take you on an exhilarating 25-minute boat trip on Loch Dunvegan to see the seal colony and observe those playful sea mammals at close quarters. You may also see herons nesting as well as many other species of birds, including the Arctic tern and the sea eagle. Dunvegan is the oldest continuously inhabited castle in Scotland and has been the ancestral home of the chiefs of the Clan MacLeod for 800 years. Armadale is a village near the southern end of the Sleat Peninsula on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. Like most of Sleat, but unlike most of Skye, the area is fairly fertile, and though there are hills, most do not reach a great height. It looks out over the Sound of Sleat to Motorhome and MALLAIG. The village is also a small port and has a regular Caledonian MacBrae ferry service to MALLAIG. MALLAIG is a small fishing port overlooking the Sound of Sleat, which separates the mainland from the Isle of Skye. In the past, millions of herring were landed here, but today it sees Europe's largest catches of prawns. It is at the end of the road to the Isles and is an ideal place to stop overnight if you are catching the ferry to Armadale on Skye. It is worth staying a little longer to take the cruise to the Summer Isles. When the fishing boats have just come in with their catches, you might see some seals in the harbour, looking for the odd fish that could come their way. If you want a good meal while you're in MALLAIG, we recommend the Fisherman's Mission. Take the steam train from Fort William. Set amid superb island scenery, this monument is a tribute to the Jacobite clansmen. Glenfinnan Monument at the head of Loch Shiel was erected in 1815 in tribute to the Jacobite clansmen who fought and died in the cause of Prince Charles Edward Stuart. Glenfinnan is a very special place and is almost hallowed ground for many Scots. Because of the historic association with Jacobite cause, many thousands of visitors come to Glenfinnan every year from all over the world to experience the very special atmosphere and stunning scenery. Fort William is the undisputed outdoor capital for the outdoor sports and activities in the UK, and that is a fact. Lying in the shadow of Ben Nevis, Fort William is the outdoor capital of Scotland. and the capital of Lochaber. Fort William's setting is dramatic. On the shore of Loch Linnhe and under the mighty hulk of Britain's ice mountain Ben Nevis, there is a footpath to the top of the mountain, starting close to the town. If you're travelling from Grantown-on-Spey and you come across this sign heading towards Fort William, then pull in. It's a great place to spend the night. There's also some great walks around this area as well. Follow the coloured paths from the car park where you've stayed overnight or just for the day, and you'll see some magnificent scenery. The beautiful falls of Dochart run through the small town of Killin in the Loch Lomond and Trossachs National Park. Located between the western end of Loch Tay, the famous white waters of the Falls of Dochart can be viewed from the village bridge. Admire the misty spray rising in the air as the waters of the river crash on the rocks, then flow around the island of Inchboo, known as the traditional and ancient burial place of Clan MacNab. There comes a time when you've had a long strenuous day that you need a long, cool drink. When it's getting late, there's nothing better than a nice bag of fish and chips to sit outside and eat. Today's Ballater is a small and pretty Victorian village with a grand setting. The connection with royalty is impossible to avoid, with many local businesses adorned by the royal coat of arms, proudly displaying the fact that they are purveyors of something or other to the Queen and her family. Ballater's tourist industry is more centred on the royal family than the reason why they or anyone else might come here. This is an extremely beautiful area. The old station at Ballater has seen many a royal train arrive. The small village of Crathy sits on the edge of the Balmoral estate. It is famous because when in residence, the royal family regularly attend this charming village church. The River Dee at Balmoral. And that's the wishing well, and Graham's actually put some money in it. The River Dee at BRAEMAR. GLENSHEE, known as the Glen of the Fairies, It is special because there is nowhere in the world quite like it. It is wild, romantic, unbelievably beautiful. Kenmore is a delightful village overlooking the beautiful Loch Tay, filled with scenic splendour and historic intrigue. The village of Kenmore is a delightful tourist stop. The first thing to catch your eye on approaching the town is the lines of whitewashed cottages. The shores of Loch Tay were at one time the home to many small farming communities, but these were largely destroyed in the times of the Highland clearances. The road to Tomintoul, the highest village in the Highlands, and thank God there's a cafe on the way. Tomintoul is a perfect example of an 18th century Scottish Highland planned village with a central square and many Georgian and Victorian buildings. In the village there is a museum, art galleries, gift shops, restaurants, malt whisky shop and a post office. Just outside Tomintoul, as you head for the A93, you will see on your left hand side a large lay-by. This is a lay-by where 6 motorhomes can park free of charge. And at the top end of the lay-by you will find 2 for disabled people. There is also picnic tables for you to enjoy. This part of the road brings back memories for me. The last time I came along here, it was on a cycling holiday in the 1960s. And believe me, the pub was a welcome sight, and the road was single track. Oban, standing unchallenged as the capital of the North Argyll. The busy town of Oban is informally known as the gateway to the Isles. The town itself lies in a crescent occupying the hills surrounding Oban Bay, and is a busy town with great cafes and restaurants and a wide selection of activities and day trips. This popular resort is also known as the seafood capital of Scotland, offering a remarkable number of award-winning restaurants. The most outstanding feature within Oban is McCraig's Tower, the Colosseum look-alike which stands above the town. The tower is 10 minutes hard walk uphill from the centre of the town and provides spectacular views over the town and into the neighbouring islands. Oban provides motorhome bays opposite the Tesco supermarket. These motorhome bays are free of charge. Inveraray, the seat of the Duke of Argyll, was for many centuries the principal county town of Argyll. From the mid-18th century, the courts met in the townhouse on Front Street. and the ground floor below, the courtroom, served as the county prison. Although Inveraray Jail is Inveraray's top tourist attraction, there is no shortage of things to do during your visit to the town. No matter the weather or the time of year, Inveraray is always a thriving centre of hustle and bustle, but still remains an old world charm coupled with the relaxed atmosphere and pace of life of a rural Scottish town. Added to that, the townsfolk's welcome is always warm and friendly.
Now how about this for a sea view? Atlantic seals on the rocks on KINTYRE. Campbelltown Harbour, Mull of KINTYRE. The local cinema. Well, this is Southend, right at the end of KINTYRE. And just off the coast is Sander Island. And this is inside the camper's room for bad weather. You have the use of a microwave, a kettle to boil hot water, and it all costs you nothing. and you can come in, sit down and watch television.